Hey, it's Mr. Skin. This week, we'll discuss HBO's Westworld, talk robot nudity and whether it's cheating if you bang a robot. Plus, Margot Robbie hosted SNL this weekend, why we love naked butts on chairs, and it's Erection 2016 at MrSkin.com. Stay tuned.
The legendary Mr. Skin.
Dude, Mr. Skin.
MrSkin.com. Skin, everybody.
When it comes to naked celebrities, Mr. Skin knows all and shows all.
Episode number 13, lucky number 13 of the big bad, one and only internationally renowned Mr. Skin podcast. Getting ready to throw it down. I am Jimmy Fallon in New York, joined as always by the great Andrea Lowell in Los Angeles. How you doing, champ?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic. Thanks for having me, guys.
Dynamite. And now let's form this podcast Voltron by adding the head of the beast, the great Mr. Skin. How you doing, Skin?
Doing great, Jimmy and Andrea. How about you?
Fantastic.
Better now. What color Voltron lion are you, Skin? If you're the Voltron lion at the head.
Jeez. Purple.
You're purple.
What
the
in
purple
the
tip.
hell is a Voltron lion?
You don't remember that toy in the 80s, Andrea?
No.
I keep forgetting your age, by the way. There was a toy. There was a
Okay.
Voltron in the 80s.
What's a
It was
Voltron?
Well, this is what it was. It was a group of like lions that you could fly around. Like there was 5 guys. Each guy had a lion that he flew around.
Oh, okay. I visually remember this, but I had no idea what it was or knew the name.
And to any Trump supporters listening, this is not based on a true story. Just so you know. Just kidding. Hey, we're getting political. It's that time of year. But it was a Voltron. These guys flew around in lions, and then they assembled a big giant robot, and they kicked everybody's ass.
Excellent. And that's what we're doing today.
Absolutely. And one guy, of course, being the headline, that was Skin. What's happening in Chicago, Skin?
Oh, my God. So busy over here at the Mr. Skin headquarters.
Busy's good.
But it was a bye week for the Bears, right? Which is actually a good week.
No, they actually won a game.
No, that went
Yes.
on.
Yes.
Well, hold on a second, because I'm in New York, and we're supposed to be on the lookout for anything strange or unusual. So let me call the authorities right now. And
I always wonder about that with football. Is like so let's say you're one of these really big fans. You go to all the games and you tailgate. You're really into it, and your team starts the season 0-3. And like in football, you start 0-3, you're not making the playoffs.
Yeah,
so
it's over.
How do you get excited about the last 13 games after that?
It's called alcohol, Skin.
Yeah,
okay.
I think
You know what?
just have to make it a drinking event. You kind of know the team's going to lose, but you're still going to rally. You're still going to party. You're still going to get your house party going with the snacks and the chips and the dip and the beer. Yeah.
Football is so much more than winning and losing. It's the one sport where even if your team sucks, because it's only 8 home games a year,
right?
They still make it work. Like the Buffalo Bills, literally, they never win. They won a game yesterday, but they've never actually won anything. Mm-hmm. But they sell out every game. Every game, because it's just like a lifestyle. It's like a thing.
Yeah. No, it is fun. And, Jimmy, I don't know if you've noticed this, and as a sports guy, when I was single and living with my buddies in an apartment and all that, I knew everything about every sport.
Yeah.
Now that I have kids and business and the whole thing, I'm down to just knowing one sport. Like this is sad, but as a fan of the '85 Bears, I watched every second of the game. I knew all the players. I couldn't name 4 players on the Chicago Bears right now, and I live in Chicago. It's embarrassing.
Is that true? Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you, where I still follow sports very actively, but I do. I have a 7-year-old kid, so I can talk Pokemon like a mofo. Like I go to bars and start like Nickelodeon conversations and freak people out. But
no,
I
and
totally
also
get it.
when you have kids, also you're right about that, all that kid stuff. But even like the music. The music you hear in the car that they want to hear, the girls especially want to listen to a certain kind of music.
Right.
Like, holy jeez.
Yeah, my son's 7. All he wants to hear is like Gil Scott-Heron. No, he's listening to hardcore rap slam poetry. No, he's a good dude. But you're right, Skin. I'm in the exact same boat as you. Andrea,
yes.
A question for you in Los Angeles, because you're in the belly of the Kardashian beast.
Yes.
What's the word about this robbery? It's crazy. Kim Kardashian got robbed at gunpoint.
Guys.
At Paris Fashion Week. Yeah. Which is, again, we're trying to be tactful here. The woman got robbed at gunpoint.
Well, she was in France. No,
yes.
she wasn't in L.A.
Well, I just have to do full disclosure. I know nothing about this. I woke up to some friends, who live out of state, like, what's going on? What's going on? And honestly, I've been working all morning. I have no idea. So I need you guys to tell me what the hell's going on. All I heard was she was like bound and whatever. And I was like, that's kind of hot because Kim Kardashian, like all bound up is pretty sexy. Well, I know that probably wasn't a sexy event for her, but that's just the first thing that entered my mind. So what's the lowdown, guys?
Well, I want to start by saying your level of denial makes me think you orchestrated it from afar. That was so emphatic. But no, what happened was, and it's pretty interesting, Skin, is she's staying at a hotel in Paris that's a no-address hotel.
Okay.
Meaning she's there for the specific fact that it's a hard, no one knows she's there.
For the anonymity.
Yes.
Right.
And some of her former bodyguards are now saying it almost had to be an inside job.
Well, yeah.
For them to know where she was. And they're saying that because she's always Instagramming, that I'm here and I've got this $5 million ring or I've got this $2 million necklace, that she kind of broadcast her whereabouts through social media. And it's possible somebody tracked her down, broke in and robbed her.
Well, they said the guy, they were dressed as cops, right? The two guys.
Oh, yeah, that's dirty. Ooh.
Yes, that's pretty gangster. And then, I'm sure it's funny because it's a terrible story, but there's also a part of you knowing the way they work.
Right.
That thinks like Kris Jenner orchestrated this for publicity. Like, I can picture her yelling cut. Like the cops walk in, she's like, cut, no, hold
serious.
on.
Yeah,
we didn't get a wide shot. Hold on, go back.
The Kardashians are kind of fading out. Like, they're not doing anything. They have no talent. I appreciate what they're doing in their business model and all that, but they keep like reaching for storylines. It's like now Rob in China. How manufactured is that?
Whoa, did you see that story, by the way? Because
Rob, I don't
follow
follow them at all.
Okay, no, not at all. But there's a story on Saturday where he gave an interview, Skin,
Ooh.
and he said that his first love was Kim Kardashian.
What?
Which is only crazy to me because looking at him, you'd assume his first love was Twinkies. I mean, that would be... I was like, how she beat Twinkies to the punch is beyond me. But the point is, they're doing these weird things. You're right, Andrea, where he just had this whole interview with TMZ where he said he was in love with Kim. And then Black China, who he's pregnant with.
And looks like Kim in a way.
But he took her to a strip club on Friday. And they're like, he was there with his pregnant wife. And, so they are trying to actively make news. Now, again, we're not saying they did this, obviously. It's a terrible thing. But at the same time, if there was one family that orchestrated one of these for publicity, you'd be like, oh, yeah, them. Totally them.
They manufacture all storylines, all publicity. So that did enter my mind, too. The first thing I heard about it was, oh, my gosh, this is probably a PR stunt because people are starting to kind of get over Kim. People are sick of Kanye. People are so oversaturated with the Kardashians. Like, you just have to think, is this a stunt?
Well, they did say.
Do you think when the two cops showed up at her hotel door, she thought they were male strippers?
She's like, honey, did you order the Village People? What's going on here? There's a cop, an Indian, a construction worker. What's going on here?
Now,
nothing would surprise
one quick
me.
thing. So, Andrea, if you have a $4 million, $5 million ring, whatever that was she was wearing, do you wear that when you're just home alone? In other words, where is that always on your finger, or do you have to have it in a safety deposit box? How often is it on your hand versus in a safety deposit box?
Well, first of all, the most expensive ring I own is about $20,000. Please don't rob me. And the fact is, I take it off when I work out, but I keep it in a very safe spot at home. I'm very well secured myself. I would think you would keep it on just so you could look at it, because why buy something that expensive if you're not going to be totally gawking at it all the time? But the fact is, if you are traveling with that expensive of things and you are so public about your whereabouts, you have to be very guarded. I mean, how stupid could you be? If I was carrying anything in the $500,000 range plus, I would have guarded, like the guys who go around with the armored trucks with me all the time, because you're kind of asking for it.
Yeah, you got to have that level of security Skin has.
Well,
down the street.
Yes,
right. Well, I also think like, one of the things I instantly thought about, okay, so she has this ring, let's say it was on, and these two guys come in with guns, and they're like, they want to get this thing going, let me get the jewelry and get out of here, and the thing doesn't come off her finger, what happens?
You gotta cut,
you know what I'm saying? Like you're trying
off.
to pull. That's what I'm thinking, because for $5 million, they don't care about the finger,
and
right?
That's actually a really good point too. I got my ring sized a little bit small specifically, so it's really hard for me to take off, because I may get get drunk and let someone try it on and forget.
Yeah.
So, and then I've always thought if someone jacks me for my ring, they're going to have to cut my finger off. So,
I would be freaked out about that. You know how like when you really, even if you just tried on someone's ring and you put it on, and you know how that feeling when everyone's looking at you and you can't get it off? Could you imagine two guys holding a gun to your head
guys,
and they have 5 minutes to get out of there?
Guys, when this show's over, remind me to loosen my cock ring.
Okay. And I'm going to have
really
to take a bleach shower to cleanse me of all this Kardashian talk. But it's what's going on right now. I really knew nothing about it. But the fact is she okay? Like what is going on?
Yeah, she's fine. She's supposedly like traumatized. You know, she said she was really shook up that they tied her up and like put her in the bathroom or wherever they put her, and robbed the stuff and got out of there. Yeah. And apparently she doesn't have armed security.
That's unbelievable. Stupid.
Yes.
That's stupid.
And that's what,
when you're broadcasting your wealth like she is, that is foolish.
Yeah, they said that not only does she not have armed security, but they make a habit of keeping security like more than 10 feet away from them. I guess for the term everybody uses now is optics. They like to be seen walking around freely. And her former bodyguard said that it's public knowledge amongst so many people that she doesn't have armed security.
Wow.
It's lax in terms of their attentiveness because of how she makes them operate. So it was probably somebody who knew everything about her and did the gig. So.
They were saying
it had to
something I read. It was like $4.5 million ring and about $5.5 million from a jewelry box. So like 10 mil.
Who travels with that? I understand bringing a few key pieces with you, but to travel with that many millions of dollars and no armed security, I mean, you're asking for it. Yeah, this could have been totally manufactured, guys. I hope for their own sake and their own mental sanity, it wasn't like grow up people, but I am glad to hear she's safe. And I always look at the silver lining. I'm thinking, Kim probably looked super banging all bound. Second, she probably has insurance on all these jewels. And 3, she can afford the best psychiatrist to get her over the trauma. So
she can go to the one that her kids are going to.
Exactly.
At the age of 1.
Exactly.
Skin, I think if anything, lemons to lemonade, we could ultimately down the road maybe create a best nude, bound and gagged skin list.
Oh, that's done.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's out there, and I'm sure people want to see it too.
Yeah.
We have that at our website. Don't worry about that. If you go to our playlist section, we already have that. So
nice.
We're on top of that. That's an important fetish. Guys are really into that. So
we should tell guys listening right now, everything we discuss on the Skincast is viewable at our Safe for Work website, MrSkinPodcast.com. We have links to the actual content.
Nice.
So you can go there and catch a link to what we're talking about. And then if you're in an environment where you can actually view the risque content all the way, you click on the link and go in a little bit further.
Fantastic.
Which brings me to last night, Skin, man. I was trying to watch Skin. Things went on. People got naked on TV last night.
Oh, yeah. Last night was big.
Yeah. Where do we start? I don't even know where to start. Can you start? Can you lead? You're the head Voltron. You're the head Voltron.
Yeah, we might as well start with the much anticipated Westworld, which, this is J.J. Abrams. This is, I've been saying that with Game of Thrones in their last, they have one more season to go, that HBO's kind of banking on this to be their big cornerstone show. And actually, I've talked to a lot of people who watched it, and it got, in some instances, people are just completely blown away. I mean, not necessarily by the storyline to date, but just the cinematography and everything about it. And I got to tell you, the other thing we knew going in, that there was going to be a lot of really good nudity because of the robots thing going on here, and it didn't disappoint in the first night. Evan Rachel Wood, who plays Dolores, who's going to be one of the hosts, as they call them, on the show. She actually opened the beginning of the show sitting nude on a chair. And by the way, when I saw this, it kind of triggered in my head. You just talked about the playlist with
Bound and Gagged.
Bound and Gagged.
Yeah.
What about this playlist, Andrea? Naked while sitting on a chair. I'm really into this. She's completely nude, just sitting on a little stool chair. But think of all the great moments in movie history where an actress has been nude, sitting on a chair. I think that has playlist potential. So in honor of Evan Rachel Wood from last night, we're definitely going to do that at MrSkin.com.
Now, is this her only nudity? Because I'm a huge fan of hers. There's always something very sexy about her. And what else has she been in? Do you know?
Well, yeah, one is she did a I guess it was a mini series. I think it was HBO, if I remember correctly, called Mildred Pierce.
Yes.
Yeah, in 2011. And my only beef with it was she got out of bed completely nude.
Okay.
But and it was full frontal. But because it was a period piece, Mildred Pierce.
Yeah.
She had this big bush, and I was so excited. You know how I have my feelings on bush. Evan Rachel Wood, full frontal, but then word got out that it was a merkin, and that's common with these. We've talked about this with these period pieces,
right?
And anyway, but her breasts and butt was hers, so that was awesome. She also did a movie this year, about an hour and 4 minutes Into the Forest from 2016. Where you could see her breasts. So
nice.
That was really nice. So she has been nude before, but and that's another reason I figured we'd see a lot of nudity from Evan Rachel Wood on Westworld. And in the opening scene, she was very naked, and it's pretty cool.
Fantastic.
But she is playing a robot, or they're called
a host.
If you're not familiar with the show yet, it's a robot, but they call them hosts.
Cool.
Let me ask you this: what is it about the naked girl in a chair? Because it works for me. I'm looking at it. I'm having the same.
I'm a big fan.
Yeah, it's something
because
about.
It's purposeless. They're just like sitting there, like they're not doing anything. They're just chilling, and because there's no real functionality to it, I think that's what makes it so intriguing. Like there's no reason except for, of course, the host in this episode. They are naked because they're robots, but otherwise, in other movies and other scenes that Mr. Skin hopefully will put together in a playlist for us, there's kind of just no reason. It's just hot. Like, let me just stare and take in your beautiful naked body.
Yeah, Maddie D likes to call that ham platter when you're sitting naked on a chair. Yeah. So no, it's I think it's you're casual, you're relaxed.
Yeah,
it does work.
It's just something about just being nude. I've always been turned on by when a woman is naked, putting on her makeup, but sitting in a chair. I think that's very sexy. Also, so I think there's a lot of potential for my nude in a chair. The ham platter.
What's funny about that, Skin, is that it is true that as you know how like you kind of spy on the woman in your life naked as she's walking around the house doing stuff.
You mean like every time?
I know, but it's not. It's never the actual things where they think you would look. It's stuff like that. Like I watch Jenny put on her makeup if she's doing it naked or something. Like what you just described blows my mind.
Yeah.
It's never the actual maintenance of taking on a bra or putting it off or anything like that.
Right.
It's that's stuff that's a rookie thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To real people, I don't know why, but there's something like there's a gravitational pull to those other acts, and that's what it is about the
gravitational pull is you pulling it. Well, I like the fact that the butt gets a little squashed on the chair. I really dig that. And let's be honest. Every woman we see in the course of a day was probably sitting nude in a chair that morning, getting ready to go out. Right?
That's a great point.
Yep.
That's a winner.
Yes. And I don't know how I got on
a whole naked on a chair thing.
But I'm loving it. And I think the thing about getting ready in the mirror is you see her from the back, like physically, and then you see the reflection from the front. She's pouting her lips like the big DSL lips.
We call that 360 nudity.
Yes, baby. I'm all about it. Nothing
so
wrong with a
funny
little self-reflection.
I'm supposed to. That's funny. I'm supposed to go to IKEA after this. It's going to be creepy.
IKEA.
Who's this
Jimmy,
guy
get out of that chair.
Yeah, who's the guy sniffing the chair section?
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Hey, one other thing. There's another host on Westworld that got naked the first night. Angela Seraphin's her name.
Yes.
She's a Russian. I think was a Russian model before actress, but she's playing Clementine, and I looked ahead. She's going to be in all the episodes, at least for the first season, which means she's going to be a regular. And she looked great. There was some nice toplessness from her. But I wanted to say one of the things that I was wondering about, and I don't know, what the answer is, but so with Westworld, they have these kind of warehouses, I guess, where all the hosts are. Before they're being used, they're just kind of in this warehouse. And every time they walk into these rooms, you see groups of like 30, 40 bots or hosts just kind of chilling there. Now, are they mannequins, real people? I think maybe some of the ones in the front are they using CGI? So I think Maddie D put out a picture for you guys, but so you could see where like there's these groups of naked people, but I don't know how many are like real people, mannequins.
They look
it's
real
hard to
to
say.
me, honestly.
I know,
they look
but
real to me.
You don't know what's CGI. Like anytime you see a group of like 50 people naked, don't think that, in this day and age, they have to get 50 people naked.
Well,
there's ways to do it without having to pay for 50 chicks to get naked.
Yeah, a lot of times what they do, especially in any large group scene, is they do have the first few or the first layer of people totally real extras, they're paid, and then they CGI the others, like the big backgrounds. So this could be a combination of the two,
Well, Andrea and Jimmy, our content people, have their work cut out with Westworld because not only are we going to get real nudity from the hosts, but then we're going to have this like robot AI nudity in the background where we just have no idea sometimes if it's real or just a mannequin or something. But we'll do our best.
This is all a plot to usher in the era of robot sex.
Oh, totally.
You know how those, you know how those sex droids are coming?
Yeah,
I mean, Skin, where do you weigh in on the robot sex?
Well, let me tell you. Let me ask you this question, Andrea. This is going to be the big... Eventually, we're going to get to the point where we can do, like, as realistic as it is on Westworld. Eventually, it's going to happen.
Right.
And what are you going to do when you can create humans with no human rights? I mean, I know
That's
sounds
horrible.
Well, think about it. Are you going to treat them like animals, cattle? Because they will be able to... I mean, we're already... sort of kind of there, not to the level it is on this Westworld, but eventually you're going to have a babe that is almost human in every way, except they don't, what are you going to do? Are they...
Except they don't have a social security number.
Well, but what can you do to them? What are their rights? I mean, it's going to be very interesting down the road. And they kind of touched on this in the first episode with Anthony Hopkins, who's the
ringleader.
He's the ringleader, the creator. And they talk about like what I kind of see that this is where it's going, but what is the call with that? But it is going to happen. I don't know in our lifetime, but it will happen.
Totally in our lifetime. Yeah, there's already very high-end
they look
sex
pretty
toys.
Good already. You know what I think, Andrea? I think what'll stop them from being too popular is that...
The price?
That's going to be one. No, obviously, that's going to be one. But even
now, they're like $15,000 and they're not even great.
Yeah, it's crazy. Even that and the fact that even if they're good in bed, you're not going to get that feeling of conquest. Where you go out, where you go out and break down a human being and talk them into doing these things. Because that's most of it. I mean, I can say this as a married guy. Okay, I'm married 10 years. I don't cheat on this girl. It's not because I'm a good person. It's because I have a strategy. Like it's called fishing and throwing them back. Like I go out, like I get hit. Sometimes I get hit on after a comedy show, or I'll be at a mixer, and I can just have like a fun, fast conversation where I've been able to deduce that if I wanted to do it, I could take it a step further.
Right.
And it's called fishing and throwing them back. Like I get to that point of validation and just go home.
Nice.
Now, that is, partly because I realized a while ago, like when I got married, that it's not necessarily like you want to have sex with these people so much as you want to know that you could.
Right.
Right.
And you want to know that
the champ still has it.
You want to know you still got it.
No,
you want to know the champ still has it.
In the end, in the end, do you really want to cause all the ruckus with the family and everything? Of course
here's
not.
The thing. That's super validating. You probably will never need a sex robot because you understand that you could bone someone else if you wanted to. You could bring a chick home and have a three-way if you wanted to. This will be for the guy who cannot do that, who has no game, who can't fish and throw back. So the sex robots are going to be for those who need all the help they can get. Is in my opinion.
Well, imagine if, let's say that I can't remember on Westworld what it costs, but let's say you could pay $20,000 and get one of these girls that'll do anything you want versus, say, all the money you spend on dates and marriage and all that stuff. I mean, that will be a choice for people down the road.
I'll tell you, it only takes me about 8 shots of tequila, and I'll let you do whatever you want. Way cheaper than $20,000. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, but 20 grand of someone that has no rights and you could do anything you want to, which I think would be, I think would be attractive to a lot of guys, especially if you could do it in
the butt.
Hey man, I want, while you're down there. Well, no, you get, hey, I want a brunette with 34 triple D, very naturals. I mean, you get everything you want.
But it's the same kind of thing.
Guys will pay the money.
You know how they say there's no pussy like new pussy? So you would be putting down 20 grand, let's say. You're having sex with this sex bot. You're going to get bored of her after a while because everyone gets bored of doing it with a hot chick eventually. So how do you spice it up with a robot? How do you spice it up with a robot?
You want to know what?
Interchangeable parts, I think.
Yes, I was just going to say. Yeah. These Apple unveilings are going to get really good.
Yeah. Change boob sizes, your pube colors, whatever it is. You could get upgrades. And,
okay. Touche. All right.
The iBabe 7. Unveil the iBabe 7.
I know.
I think that's where it'll go, Skin. You're making a very good point, though. Skin, is that this will be, I guess you're both making this point, a place of refuge for a guy who can't get a woman. Mm-hmm. And it is a concern because they have no rights.
Right.
But that being said, it might be awesome. Listen, I'm on the fence. Right now I sit here and I go, no, there's no way I'd ever do this. But again, it's kind of like an escort. But here's the question, Skin. Is it cheating if it's with a robot?
Nope. I've officially made that call.
Very good answer.
Yeah.
I agree.
So did any humans get naked? Can we talk about that? Are there any
Is there
any human nudity on TV? Where are we?
Yeah, right. Well, let me talk about another show that I've been a big fan of. They should be sending me a check this week because I'm big on Quarry. They're 4 episodes in their first season with Logan Marshall Green. And I got to tell you real quick, Jodie Balfour, Andrea, as an expert on breasts that you are, check out those breasts in the mirror.
They're amazing.
Yeah, Jodie Balfour she's from South Africa. She's been a regular character on the show. She had a little incident with a wound on her back this episode. Whoa. But forgetting that, look at her in the mirror. When I do my Anatomy Awards for Best Breasts and we have to choose our 5 finalists, I think we're looking at one of the 5 finalists. Those are spectacular. They're not huge. I'd say they're in between a B and a C. Would you agree? Yeah.
I was just going to say a big B, small C. The perkiness, the scoop on top, the areola size, the tiny nipple. I mean, I'm all about these. Do we know how old she is? Because her boobs look 19.
I could have my crack staff look that up, but
she's great.
I do know she's from South Africa. And those are definitely not like 45-year-old boobs because those are like young girl boobs.
But when she pulls that towel down and you get that little like bounce like a slinky out of the package, that's what I'm talking about. Woo!
Yep. So this is on Corey's Friday nights on Cinemax, and they're 4 for 4, by the way, 4 episodes from the creators of Banshee. So go figure.
Love it.
Of course, it's awesome. So all over that. And then a couple of the things I wanted to mention. Hey, you know what? I got to say on the disappointing side of nudity, which I haven't had much of, and I'm not complaining because there's way more nudity now than there ever was. But one of my go-to shows this year is 4 episodes in. It's called Masters of Sex on Showtime, season 4. They're 4 episodes in. They had no nudity Sunday night.
What?
Yeah, and it's like I'm wondering if they're deliberately toning it down this year. It's just so weird for a show that is up there with Game of Thrones when it comes to nudity that all of a sudden has gone over. They've had some real brief nude scenes, but so far kind of 0 for 4, which has been a bit of a bummer for me.
That's shocking almost. It's shocking because
Masters of Sex.
Yeah, it was like Transparent, their 3rd season. They go 2 seasons of incredible nudity, and then it was like really tough to get any nudity going in the 3rd one. So whatever. Hey, real quick before I forget, it was on Masters of Sex last week. I had a throwaway where this girl Amanda Quaid. I just showed it because I was so desperate for some Masters of Sex stuff. This girl Amanda Quaid was in her underwear and she was being spanked while they were watching through the window. Just a quick trivia question. I didn't know it at the time, but Amanda Quaid is Randy Quaid's daughter.
Oh, nice.
Can you imagine? Have you seen any of the internet stuff on
Randy Quaid?
Oh, my God.
No,
who thinks he's on like the planet Zoltar right now?
Oh, my God.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, he's off. He's way. He's
out there right now?
him and his wife have been.
What the hell's going on?
There's some, I don't know, but man, it's not good.
It's
and
called,
this poor girl that last week we were like, I'd never heard of her, Amanda Quaid, but whatever. And it ends up being Randy Quaid's daughter. So I wanted to follow up with that from last week. So
nice. I love celebrity offspring nudity. That's like my favorite.
Andrea, just a quick note on Randy Quaid. I remember watching him banging his wife doggy style while wearing a Rupert Murdoch mask. So yeah, it's not going well for Randy Quaid.
Wait, and that was not in a movie? That's like part of his like downward spiral?
Yeah, she had the mask on, by the way. So it was like, I'm not saying he was in the, it's it's a freak show over there. Okay. So this poor girl, Amanda Quaid, that's her dad. He's on the run.
Yo, I have a lot of celebrity pop culture homework to do. I got to look up the Kardashian stuff. I got to look up the Quaid stuff.
Yeah, the Quaids are crazy.
I think it's obvious now that Randy Quaid robbed the Kardashians.
I think
we got to the bottom of that.
Believe me,
he's nuts. He's on bath salts or something, right?
Yeah.
But he is. I'm not even kidding. He is.
No, straight up. Think about it.
It's crazy. Hey, one other thing on TV I wanted to mention. I've heard. Actually, I was listening to Howard Stern today, and they were talking about this show Luke Cage, which is a Marvel series. And it stars this Michael Coulter. So it's like an all-black cast superhero show.
Very cool.
So, yeah, it's really cool. And I watched a couple clips of it, and unfortunately, because it's Marvel, there's no nudity. But Andrea, especially, I want you to take a look at this. So the Simone Missick, who plays like Misty Knight. She's like a detective on the show. So she sleeps with Luke Cage, right? Michael Coulter.
Yeah.
And it's so funny. My guys in content were going nuts because here's this girl, this black girl with these huge, great natural boobs. She gets out of bed, and I'm a big fan, Jimmy, of swingers when your boobs swing from side to side. Big fan. So she's swinging all over the place, and it's a side shot. But then I was looking, and my guys said no nudity. We made the call no nudity. So I was kind of bummed about that. And I'm like, what, guys? Look, she's showing. Yeah. And then our rule is you have to show nip to get credit. To get credit for nudity. So we look closely, and Marvel goes and they do like a kind of a what do you call it? Where they would like
a pasty.
Yeah, they like
a CGI pasty?
They did like a CGI pasty. So
yeah, because I just zoomed in too, and I'm like, there's no way on earth the areola would not be present.
I know. It was a big disappointment at our offices because I was so excited to say, hey, what a great nude scene. So I got to give you the caveat. You get great, fantastic. In fact, my favorite side boob of 2016, but you do not see nips, so we could not call that nudity at MrSkin.com. We're very ethical, Jimmy. I don't know if you know that.
Oh, wow.
Can
I tell you about this shot? No, I like that we have standards and practices. When you look at the shot from afar, you think you're seeing her nipple.
100%.
Because it looks like it's like either her phone or the book on the desk that's creating it. Looks like an extension, right?
Our guys lightened it up because they filmed this very dark. It's a very like Batman-ish type of vibe, but it is. It was a bummer. So they lightened it up. They went in. They said, you know what? It was Marvel. That was they just kind of etched out the nips. So anyway, that's the story. But it's still definitely worth checking out. But if you don't see nip, that's why.
I mean, I'm loving anytime I see a chick with natural wild curly hair like that and just big succulent boobs. I'm just a big fan of hers already. So I've never heard of her, but she's going to be on my radar because I'm a big fan so far.
Yeah, she's a winner.
Yeah,
she's
with the lip biting. I love lip biting.
Yeah, and hey, you know what? Speaking of television, I did notice everyone obviously saw the big debate with on SNL. They had their debut, and I guess SNL the ratings were off the hook. And did you notice who was hosting? They did the Trump-Hillary debate, but did you notice who was hosting? It was Margot Robbie.
Ooh, baby, yes. Wolf of Wall Street hottie.
Yeah, well, the funny thing is, I was talking to Maddie D before the show, and I was telling him that, in 2011, she was on this Australian soap called Neighbours, and she was not even like a huge star on the show, but she was on the show. So no one in the United States had heard of her in 2011. So then Scorsese casts her in Wolf of Wall Street in 2012. So she comes here and has this, incredible role, does one of the most iconic nude scenes of the 2000s. We all know the scene in Wolf of Wall Street where she's, at the door in the stockings and heel and, incredible. And she and she even had the Bay Ridge accent right, Jimmy.
Yes,
you'd understand that. Only you would know what a Bay Ridge accent is, but she got it right, and it was really cool. So here she is, and she's from Australia. She's from Australia, right? So she does all this, and then people always ask me. I get this question all the time: is nudity good for one's career? And I've always said, I mean, there's so many examples I could think of where actresses' career, have taken off. But think of Margot Robbie. No one knew her. She does this movie. Within that movie came out on Christmas of 2013. By January of 2014, the #1 most searched actress at IMDb was Margot Robbie.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yes. So
and do you think
totally
it was because of her Bay Ridge accent, Jimmy?
No.
It is. She sounds like Joe Pesci in the movie.
Yeah, right.
Sexy
it was
how?
It was
How
because of the
sexy?
nudity. And next thing you know, she's playing Jane in Tarzan. She's on Suicide Squad.
Wow.
And now she's hosting Saturday Night Live. So how awesome is that?
That's fantastic.
And she is spectacular. That shot in that movie. Really,
you kind of focused on that one.
It affects you. It's one of those. There's plenty of nude scenes
So
that come and go
sexy.
in your mind.
Yeah.
It's the. You know what it is? It's the leggings.
It's the
a girl
thigh
in
highs.
nothing. Yeah, a girl
Thigh
in nothing
highs
but
are
thigh
a
highs.
weakness of mine. They're a weakness. I mean, when I wear them. No, I'm saying when I see them. When I see them. No, I am a big fan. You give me thigh highs and heels, and that's it. I'm done.
Totally. And you know what's so funny? Me too, as a woman, when I want to feel my absolute sexiest, most vampy, sultry look, I put on the Margot Robbie outfit. It's the black nude nylon thigh highs with the lace top, super high heels, maybe like a few garter belts and something really strappy. And I just feel like my sex prowess is like through the roof.
Andrea, you can pull. You have a Margot Robbie look. You're blonde with the skinny body and all of that. So I'm like,
So
your
when you
husband's a
wear
lucky
it,
man. Good
so
for
when you
him.
wear it, it's not the same, is what you're saying.
No, I was like, it's with hairy legs and stuff. It doesn't.
No,
look
but
as
it
good.
really makes me feel sexy when I put on black nylon thigh highs. So when you feel sexy, you become a sex animal. So it's the same. It's just as attractive to men as it is empowering for women sexually to put on.
No, listen, and if I had to, I don't know if we probably have, but I'd have to look at the website. But if you're saying of the nude scene since 2000, this has to be one of the best of all of the 2000s. There's no question about it. Margot Robbie and Wolf of Wall Street,
she's the real deal, and it's the hair too, the big hair. She has kind of big hair, and big hair, man, never gets old.
Nope.
That's why I love Texas. You go to Texas and there's the 80s just never ended for Texas hair.
Right.
But it looks good.
Yeah.
It does look really good. You know?
Yeah.
And it's always funny if you were watching actual porn, you can tell when it was shot by the hair.
Oh my God.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and by the hair on their head.
Yeah. Bang.
Yeah.
Boom, baby.
But she also had there was a funny scene. I know I was watching with my wife, and she did a scene where she was in a library, like looked beautiful, and the guys in the library were busting balls on one of the guys, and she went from gorgeous, and then they totally turned it into a horror scene, and she even looked hot with bad teeth,
and this is on SNL, right? On SNL,
yeah, on SNL Saturday night, right?
Wow.
Yeah, because the when you put the bad teeth on her, she looks like Margot Robbie with less self-esteem,
right?
Which is a fun Margot Robbie.
A meth problem.
Yeah. But anyway, so that was so there was, and I think as we've now solidly into the fall, we're gonna have a ton of television stuff to talk about. No shortage of TV nudity. So anyway, we got that, and then one other thing I did want to mention for you guys too is it's election 2016 right now,
right?
And at MrSkin.com. I'm very proud of my crack staff because we have launched, as of today, Erection 2016.
Yes.
And whether you're a Democrat or a Republican or a skin dependent, my guys, they've kind of reviewed. It was kind of neat what they did. We were trying to think how to do this Erection 2016 and make it fun. And what they did is they literally, and I'm telling you, between my content department, my writers, and some other people, they kind of reviewed all the celebrity skin in our database, and they selected candidates for 12 different categories. And anyone could go to the website and check it out. But just as an example, and I thought this was great, they have and there's 12 different ones. I just wanted to share a couple just
please
for you guys.
do.
Like, example, like President Erect, which was so these are like the most popular, and we did this through the stats of our website, like over the last 5 to 10 years, and like Anne Hathaway, Emilia Clarke, Margot Robbie is one, and Scarlett Johansson. So you go to the website, and under the President Erect, you watch a short video of all their best nude scenes, and then you vote.
Yeah.
And so it's pretty cool. And then we did like First Ladies, which is the best lesbo of all time. So you have Black Swan, Orange is the New Black with Laura Prepon, and Blue is the Warmest Color, which I voted for. My favorite. It's
Is that Jessica Biel?
Yeah. Well, and then you have and then you have Bound with Gina Gershon and
she's got my
Jennifer
vote.
Tilly. Yeah. So the First Ladies was great. And
dude,
a bunch
Attorney
of other,
Genital I'm seeing here on MrSkin.com.
Yes. I mean, this is.
I got to vote for that.
Yeah,
Streaker
Jimmy,
of the House.
Yeah, Streaker of the House was like in the history of movies, which was the best nude while running scene. So we had like
nice.
It's
there's a lot of great offices to represent, and you don't have to be registered, which is great.
No, anyone could come and vote, and we've already had thousands of votes today, so
cool.
It's pretty cool. And you don't want to miss Muff Master General, which is one of our favorites. Yeah, the best bush scene at MrSkin.com.
And this is actually almost intellectually too sharp for the real election. In any other year, this would look like way off the grid. This looks like it might as well be a sidebar to what's going on. I mean, we're getting a good show this year.
If you look at the page, so it's so well designed, and I'm only bragging about this because I had absolutely nothing to do with it. It's my they wanted to do it, the team, and I said go for it, and they literally picked out all the actresses, and
they did a great job.
I take a once over before it goes to the goes to the site. But by the way, the video, Maddie D,
dude, the video.
Can you play the video, Maddie, for them, Maddie? And you got to watch it too because it is so well done. We got Abraham Lincoln actually did the video to promote it. So just take a quick listen because Maddie D did an amazing job on this video.
All right.
47 years ago, hello, Skin fans. Former President Abraham Lincoln here. And if there's anyone who enjoys a good theater show, it's me. That's why I've been asked here to help Mr. Skin with an election. An erection, you say, of naked stars for 12 titillating offices. Well, just watch these fancy electric moving pictures for each of the 12 offices. Choose the most electable candidate, then pull your lever and cast a vote. You can vote for offices like President Erect with comely young lasses like Emilia Clarke and Margot Robbie. Or perhaps it's the Secretary of the Posterior you've got a horse in, with a close race between Jessica Alba and Natalie Emmanuel. You know, a house divided cannot stand, but a good crack is worth tracking down. And while the Union has prevailed, we have not forgotten the South, with candidates seceding from their undergarments to curry favor for the offices of Attorney Genital and Muff Master General. My, and I thought my chin whiskers were bushy. Secretary of Double Defense candidates Alexandra Daddario and Kelly Brook are, in a word, monumental. Their breasts are so big they should be carved into a mountainside. Mount Breastmore, they could call it. Now's your chance to be your own chief of staff. So go down to your favorite polling place and stuff that box and be entered to win a 55-inch Samsung 4K television. And I don't even know what the hell that is. But don't worry, I'm Abraham Lincoln. And this is an erection you won't want to miss. And you know me, I'm more honest than you.
That was amazing, and I didn't even know you could win a Samsung 4K.
Yeah, just for playing.
Am I eligible?
Just for playing. Oh, yeah. Well,
you're like, no, you're not.
Yeah, employees of Mr. Skin are not. No, but
that was so funny, dude.
Yeah, it is, and you got to see the video if you come to MrSkin.com. Right on the front page is our whole erection 2016, and like I said, they did such a great job, and actually it was fun for me because when I went up today, I had to do all my voting, and I won't take the TV if I win it, but I did have to vote. But yeah, all you have to do is vote, and you're eligible to win a 55-inch TV, and we're gonna get a lot of people to do it because, in worst case, you go and check out great nude scenes in 12 different categories. So it's a lot of fun. And by the way, Jimmy, you'll get a kick out of this, Jimmy. We got a big ass sponsor for this thing too. This PHGH, and you'll like this too, Andrea. It's an herbal supplement.
Nice.
It's created by this male porn star, John Lawrence. And I got to tell you, I had heard about this because I have some friends that have tried it, and it's his company's kind of exploded, no pun intended, but it gives you kind of like the thing is you take these pills and you get like incredible. It's like a healthy Viagra type of thing, but all around your sex drive improves. And I had to order a case just for of course research purposes, of course. But no, but it's actually pretty cool. And I did know, I had heard about this from some friends that used it, and they were like telling me about it, and then all of a sudden, boom, they come in and become a sponsor. So
awesome.
now I'm a big fan. So it's PHGH. It's right. You can't miss it if you come to our website and check it out. But yeah, it's a fun thing. And I know everyone's worried about fraud and something with the true election 2016. That won't happen with the erection 2016.
Yeah, this
Good to know.
Contest has integrity. We should have debates over these categories. Like, it would be a fun thing to do going forward, is argue about who we think should win.
We're going to have voting over the next couple of weeks, so maybe in one of the next episodes I could tell you like who's in first, second, third, and you guys look at this and tell me who should be 1, 2, or 3, or 4.
Yeah, I got to tell you, my poll numbers are already going up. Hey-o.
Yeah, right.
Zing.
But anyway, so check that out. But like I said, it's going to be, this fall's going to be super busy. And we're going to have tons of television stuff to talk to. I actually had a lot of things I wanted to get to today. I got to some of the highlights, but some of the stuff we didn't get to today, I could definitely get to next week.
Sounds good to us.
Absolutely. And a couple of things before we go. We would love your feedback. Talking to you, the listener. Visit us at MrSkinPodcast.com/survey. Mm-hmm. And we're giving stuff away there too, right, Andrew? We're giving away a Google Chromecast.
That's right.
If you give us feedback, you'll get a Chromecast, which is a streaming media stick, and a free 1-year subscription.
Which is the best gift you can give, and I love that. So yeah, feedback, and also leave us a message at 304-TALK-SKIN, and we may play it on the air and answer it.
You absolutely need to do that, because we love those calls. Those are actually really fun calls. We should be pushing the line harder.
Yeah.
Yes, I will repeat, damn it. Leave us a message at 304-TALK-SKIN. We will play it on the air, and you'll win stuff.
That's awesome.
We give away a lot of, you know what I mean? That's our thing.
We have
what fun is nudity if you can't give away stuff?
Right.
We're the Johnny Appleseed. We're like Johnny Apple Smut. We're like Johnny Apple Smut. But yeah, we're good people, and we're back here again next week.
Yes,
am I correct?
We do toss seats. Yes.
God, I didn't want to jinx it, but we just survived episode 13.
Woo-hoo! Yeah, I know. I was worried about that. That's a big hump. That's a big hump to get over.
Hey, there was a lot of superstitious talk though. It's been it's been all over the news. People have been talking about it. The Skincast is going from tonight.
It's been all over the media.
It was the second story under the Kardashian heist.
It was right there.
Yeah.
But we did it. Congratulations to you guys. We'll always have this.
We will. I love it.
See everybody next week.
All right, you guys take care.
MrSkin.com. Fast forwarding to the good parts.